this packaging. It's so heavy. This is the brand new Estee Lauder Re-Nutriv Ultra Radiance Serum Creme Makeup Foundation. It's very, very pricey, and we are going to talk about that today with me, Rebecca. I'm a fashion and beauty editor. I have been doing this behind the typewriter, keyboard I should really say, since, oh God, for a while. About 25 years. But that's given me this audacity, and I hope the knowledge, to bring it here to YouTube and have a sort of digital beauty magazine for you to go through every day or so. All right, we're going to get right into it, but let me just explain to you what we got here. So Estee Lauder has this Re-Nutriv anti-aging skincare and cosmetic line that they're very famous, like a brand within a brand. All of the products within the serums and the moisturizers and the makeup within the Re-Nutriv are hydrating, kind of anti-aging. It uses key ingredients like black diamond truffle extract. Woo! And it's seen as a very luxury, kind of old school cosmetic and specialty skincare line from Estee Lauder, one of the oldest and greatest, right? So we have this. It is a very hefty price tag, $160. And you're going to say, oh, I was looking at the Hermes. Well, I got the Hermes too, and that's coming, so I should be able to maybe not compare them in a video. They're very different, but I can speak to that comparison. I do have that Hermes on the way, but this is an interesting one. This is the Serum Creme Makeup Foundation. So it is, in addition to being weighty and crystal, this is not plastic. This is beautiful. It also comes with a little application. It's actually quite handy dandy. When you open this up, you see the product inside, and yes, we will talk about this during application. It is very similar to, or the look is very similar to products we know from Chantecaille that comes to mind off the top of my head, and of course Jones Road, the What the Foundation. It's kind of like that. But what makes this different is that it is indeed a serum cream makeup. So it's not just a cream in a jar. It's got that serum-like quality. What do I mean by that? You've seen that in liquid foundations where it kind of soaks into the skin and becomes almost transfer-proof, very long-wearing and part of the skin. And I don't believe, unless I'm wrong, that we have seen that yet in this kind of a jarred, potted, moisturizing cream foundation. You won't get that really in the Chantecaille or the Jones Road, Okay, so that's a little different, and we're going to look at that. There are so many shades, 16 of them, but they're very stretchy because this isn't very full coverage. It's kind of light to medium, frankly, depending upon how much you apply. So there are definitely deeper and lighter shades at both ends of the shade spectrum. There's not a whole lot in between. We can rely on it being fairly stretchy. This is 2N1 Desert Beige. It's a little too light for me. We'll talk about this in the application process in the demo. I have bronzed it up a little bit, but it promises to have kind of a candlelight glow, but also to resist sweat because it's a serum. It's going to resist humidity, sweat, but it's going to illuminate and become one with the skin and give that sort of candlelit glow, which I actually do think it's doing, even though my shade's a little bit lighter. So what I want to do right now is jump right into the demo, and then we have a wear test coming up. I'm actually still in the middle of the wear test as I film this, and we will talk all about it because it's got quite a hefty price tag, $160. So I want you to really know what you're getting into before you purchase it. So let's go ahead and go right straight to the demo. Okay, well, I showed you this beautiful packaging, and it actually, the product looks lighter than it actually is. When I first opened this, I looked through the crystal here, and I got this 2N1 Desert Beige. I read it as Dessert Beige at first, because I thought that could be a good creme brulee, but it's desert. And it looked a little too light, but when I open it, it's such beautiful packaging, very heavy. I can see that when I open it, it is a slightly different shade. It's a little deeper. And it's got this, here I go, take this cover off of it here. That's the cover that, you can see it's a little deeper than it looks in the jar. Okay, so let's go ahead and use our little brush that comes with it, and let's go ahead and apply it. What they say to do really is to just take it almost with a finger, really. You could use the brush, and just kind of dot it around just a little bit. I'm taking some off the cap. And then they say to use this brush. Now, I haven't checked the ingredients because I'm not really an ingredient person, but I haven't checked the ingredients too much, but I can tell there's a little bit of a fragrance. It's nothing obnoxious. I'm trying to just do one side of the face first. It's nothing obnoxious, but I can definitely sense a little bit of a floral scent to it. Okay, so we have a little bit too light. As you can see, this side I dotted it on there, but I didn't rub it in. So you can see that this is, I'm a little deeper than that, but with some bronzer and stuff, it shouldn't be too bad. If I did it in store, I'd probably go a shade deeper, right? But not too bad. All right, let me speed it up and finish the rest of the face. Okay, and I can tell you right now that when I finish up the rest of the face here, as I just did, it doesn't look too bad, and it really does blend in quite nicely. Now, I learned my lesson from the Chantecaille and the Jones Road product, and I don't put a lot of this type of product on, but with this, you can apply a little bit heavier than you would Chantecaille. I'm putting some on the brush here as we talk. A little bit heavier than you would Chantecaille or Jones Road. I feel like I need a little more, so let's go in there and put a little more on here. I don't know if that's really going to let us see that the product's a bit too light. I don't know. I'm going over the eyes here as well because we're kind of letting this work as our concealer today as well. It's really interesting. I can tell you already, it's almost, I guess it does say it's a serum, but I'm not used to a serum foundation in the new sense of the word that we've been seeing for the past few seasons. I'm not used to it in this cream form. I mean, it really is becoming one with the skin, which is what the product promised. But I'm surprised by it in this format. I'm used to it behaving much like the Chantecaille or like the Jones Road product would, if you know what I'm talking about. My face feels very moisturized and soft already, and it does have a very much of a candlelit glow. I don't know if that slightly too light of a shade is throwing you guys or not. It's not too bad. It's not throwing me. And I'll get some makeup over it. Well, it's definitely blurring, definitely candlelit. We're just going to let this go all day, and I'll let you see it at the end of the day. I can't imagine it's going to last because it just kind of feels like it's gone into my skin. It feels very moisturized, not sticky. Very moisturized. I just feel like I have a really nice moisturizer on my skin, which makes sense for the nature of the brand. All right, let's just let it go the rest of the day. Meanwhile, I'll put this puzzle piece back together here. And I'll see you. For me, it's going to be all day. But for you, it's going to be just like. Okay, this is 6 hours later. I'm going to let it go longer than this, and in a few moments I'll report on screen. But let's just look at this after 6 hours. Now, you'll notice a little bit of a change in the shade. I did bronze. I didn't put on a lot of makeup, and there's no concealer on. When I test foundation like this, you guys, I just like to test straight on the foundation. I'm not powdering it. I'm not doing anything to it with primer or setting spray because we all use different versions of that. But let me tell you what I did do, which is a little bit of cheating. Because the product is a bit light for me, and I'm going to talk about exchanging it. I don't know if they'll let me, but anyway. I did bronze, and I used a powder bronzer. In using the powder bronzer, I was able to also powder the product a little bit because it's a very moisturizing product. It doesn't need powdering, and certainly if you have dry skin, you can just let it go. But I just wanted to give it a little bit of a powder. And let me tell you, when I first applied it 6 hours ago, I told you I felt very moisturized and almost that kind of glowy, moisturized skin. Now that it's been 6 hours, it is thoroughly kind of sunken into my skin, and I don't feel any stickiness at all. Just a nice moisturized, actually very plumped skin, which is what we really would expect from the Estee Lauder Re-Nutriv line, because it's a skincare line. So it feels really good, but that's how I got it a bit deeper. I kind of really went in with the bronzing, not fully on this part of the cheeks, but really went in from the perimeter of the face. So that's why you're seeing it a little bit deeper, but it is still giving that slightly candlelit look. And before I talk to them about exchanging it, I'd love to know your opinion. This isn't for anything other than just personal, selfish reasons. What do you think? Do you like the candlelit kind of look with the bronzer around the face? I'd love your opinion. because I trust you guys, but that's just selfishly for me. Okay, let's talk about how it's lasted in the 6 hours and then how it's going to do when I leave you here today. My skin is looking very plumped. It is looking very candlelit. I have it on the eyelids, around the eyes, not bothered by any sort of a lasting fragrance. As I told you, I hadn't checked the ingredient list, but I do smell a bit of a floral fragrance. Nothing disgusting, nothing overwhelming. You know, I love Chanel, for instance. I love Chanel complexion products, but they hit you in the face with floral when you open them. Nothing like that here, just gentle fragrance a little bit, and it does dissipate. It is sitting very well. It is blurring pores. I do see my pores here, but they are not exaggerated. And it's doing very well. It is wearing similarly to the other products of this nature that I've been comparing it to, such as Chantecaille and such as Jones Road. Okay. Such as, there's others like that. But I think it's a beautiful product. I think it feels very luxury. The packaging looks very luxury. It's beautiful. This is very weighty, very crystal and pretty. And you know, for the price, you should expect that. And I think it wears beautifully, similarly to Jones Road, which is definitely easier priced. And Chantecaille, that's a little bit less. I think of all three, I actually prefer this one the most because it does have that serum-like quality where it sucks into the skin a little bit quicker, and I feel I can use a little bit more of this product. Now, why is that a good thing when it's expensive to use more? I just feel like I could pile this on a little more and be a little more haphazard with it, with the Chantecaille and the Jones Road that I'm talking about it with. I'm very careful with those because I feel like I could look greasy. Depends if you have dry skin or not. But I think this is honestly just a very lovely option in terms of a luxury feel, a luxury look, and luxury packaging. It's very Estée Lauder. It's very kind of sophisticated, old school beauty glamour. Feels very old Hollywood, really, and it is beautifully wearing and feels lovely. Now, I will wear it for quite a few more hours. On screen right here, I'll put how many hours I actually wore it for, and if it held up. It doesn't really seem like it's going anywhere. It mostly just, because you saw I put a medium amount on, it mostly is leveling out any redness I had on my skin. It is not full coverage, and I don't think it would ever be because it sucks into the skin. It is more of a kind of serum, cream, moisturizing foundation, and very skincare-y. It's beautiful though. It's not emphasizing lines or texture, and very much is candlelit. I think it does what it says on the tin, as they would say in Great Britain, and I am very, very pleased with it. Tell me if you're thinking of trying this. We got a lot of luxury foundations coming out. Yes, I should have mentioned earlier, maybe I didn't. Hermes I've got on the way to me, so we're going to look at all that. But yeah, I mean, I would give this a thumbs up. If you were the customer for this and you were thinking of trying it, I think you would love it. Especially if you like this skincare line from Estée Lauder. I think you're going to be very, very happy with it. So let me know. Let me join you guys in the comments and we can chat about it. And you can ask me any questions. And do give me your opinion on this shade or if I should change it. I trust you guys. That's, like I said, just selfishly, I would love to know. Plus, we've got other new reviews and lots of new good stuff coming up as we roll in headlong into 2026 on Not Fit for Print Beauty. Glad to have you here with me. Make sure you're subscribed. Check me out over on Instagram and TikTok, Threads. Come and join our membership right here on YouTube. And of course, we have Facebook and all that good stuff. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.